Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time to make the tier list for the assisted fighters and the updated tier list actually that we're gonna do for October. It's not like I will do consistently tier lists for the assisted fighters. I may add in the videos, I will show you the addition of new fighters in the tier list. But so far we're gonna talk about it in general and put them in a tier list. I emptied my tier list that I made for the fighters in general, and we're gonna be putting them here and explaining why, and hopefully it will not be long. I will try to speak quickly about everyone and not take my time. So starting off, I will start from the SS tiers to the D, like from top to bottom. And starting off with Evo Ryu, arguably one of the best SS skills for damage dealing. You don't take any percentage from the assisted fighter or whatever. It's just straight up from the start of the battle. You lose 15% of your HP on your carry, on your assisted fighter, and deal 20% more damage. In general, more damage from your damage dealing. Now, Gormagala Ken, again, one of the broken assists. He uses his Dragon Curse on the enemy. Every 30 seconds you can do it. They need to deal 1000% of his attack as damage to your lineup so they can remove it, and you can deal the same for the enemy to remove it from yourself. Absolutely insane, and plus it reduces their damage output and reduces their damage resistance, so you'll deal more damage. And now the best probably the best assist normal fighters in the game because of the mechanic of giving you combo meter, and it's Yan and Yang. Now Yan and Yang are trigger, both of them, one if you crit and one if you have a trigger unit on your lineup. So if Bison explodes, if you're using Iryu, Gormagala Ken, Summer Ibuki, Summer Elena, they're gonna work on that. So Yang will give you 80 points plus drop into the field and hit the target, hit the enemies, deal some damage when you crit, and will give you 80 points in combo meter. Same as Yan, whenever a trigger happens, you can use him also on Bizangief. Bizangief trigger when every time he attacks. He's gonna drop to the field, hit the enemy for some damage and fill your combo meter with 80. That's what we use in Boss Rush team most of the time. Pretty much insane. Abel now, one of the best defensive mechanism in the game, especially because his shield is an instance trigger, which means if you hit, your lineup get hit from the enemy and you have the shield on, the entire hit will be negated by the shield, 2 instances of the shield, and the shield will keep rotating. Every 12 seconds he will give you the shield on the, it will not rotate to other teammates, only for the assisted fighter, but every 12 seconds he will refresh the shields and give you other shields. Fashion Sakura, one of the broken assist units in the game. Her assist is amazing. It will do it after 12 seconds. Every 12 seconds I think is the interval time. She will give you damage immunity. You will not die. You will stay alive in the lineup, especially if you're doing boss teams or even in campaign and tower. Very much needed as an assist fighter. Really good. Rose, also one of the most busted units in the game as a support, as a buffer, as a small damage dealer if you want to use her for DPS. For her assist, she gives you the tarot cards. If you get the 4 of them, you're gonna get a massive buff from crit rate to crit damage to attack, everything. Chun-Li used everywhere. She will give you 12.5 or 15% of her total crit rate to your units, which is amazing, which is not bad actually, very good. She's the 2 units in the game that give you crit rate from their assist. She's the best one of them, and we'll be talking about the second one later. Witch Jury, finally, she became pretty much quickly one of the best units to be an assist units just because of her lifesteal. Gen, we know Gen, one of the best assist units because he counters any backline dealers. He helps you with bossing. His assist, when he's on assist, his illusion or shadow clone might stun the enemy, which is perfect. Cammy, one of the only best unit in the trigger category, which is because she doesn't have time limit or time interval. So whenever you trigger any unit that triggers, especially on Ken or Summer Ibuki, if they trigger their skills with the C1 and C2, she will jump in, hit the enemy, and inflict on them armor break. This is 100% accurate. It can't be dodged, it can't be reflected, it can't be negated. They will get armor break on them, and it can stack really quick for +10. With Beast Zangief, in story mode or in bossing, because his auto attack is a trigger attack, she always constantly, before you start your rotation, you'll have 6 or 7 armor break already on the team. Anyway, moving on, we have, we have Street Poison. Why Street Poison is up there? Just for bossing. You can put her on S. Actually, she could be on S, but because she's the only one to buff you with this insane crit damage, 25% crit damage, or 15, I forgot, but it's 16% crit damage. It's 16% crit damage. She will buff your carry with 16% crit damage, which is insane. Some synergies that you can use, buff the crit rate of our team entirely, and she will deal amazing crit damage. Just be careful, don't use her in story mode or versus multi-units, multi-targets. She's only for bossing or only for specifically one unit. If there's one unit as an enemy, you will gain the 16% more crit damage. If there's multiple units, it will be negated. You're not gonna get anything. This is the downside of it. Now, Mad Ryu, also great. Now, he's not maybe the best, but for his functionality is the best because we use him with Virgil, with Bison, with any kind of unit that we want to assist that drops their HP quickly below 50%. He will trigger and you'll get 20% of his attack, not in general 20% total attack or damage just like Evo Ryu, but from his own attack. And because his own attack is so huge, it really makes sense when it adds up. Now Nero, one of the great assists, but I tell you, if you have Nero, build him up. I refuse to see anybody using him as an assist. Insane assist because of the buff, because you take the demon form of him, 3 stacks. 3 stacks, you take it, and it increases your parry. It's insane for the parry. It gives you 5% damage per stack or buff, but the parry rate or that you get from him is insane, which is making him pretty crazy. Now I'm gonna put these units back to back in front of each other like that. Now I will do this one, actually this one, then him, then him, then him. Now these specifically we use them on fire teams, except Mayor Cody. You can use him on anybody. He gives you 15% more damage on the bosses or on the enemy with the highest attack, so you can use him with any lineup. These specifically goes with the flame like units or the flame setup, especially Fei Long. He will increase any flame damage taken by the enemies by 15% if the assisted fighter stays alive. Fashion Ken, insane assist for any flame damage dealer. Also Flame Chun with her flame penetration, insane, very much good, crazy. Now we're gonna go here and put Poison. Poison is great for anybody that deals if the enemy lineup is having shock on them and your fighter that is assisted by her deals any kind of damage to them, she will drop into the field, hit them with AoE, and you have a small chance for a silence, which come in clutch in many situations. Sagat, same thing with her. You can run them together on a team of full shock. If you he drops in, deals some damage, and apply shock also on the enemies if you're hitting someone that has already shock on them, or if you deal thunder damage, which is insane. Now Zangief, one of the best assists also for defensive mechanisms, and I know it's not as good as his passive, which is 25% less flame, soul, and thunder damage. It's 10% when you use him on an assist target. Now, Bison, we all know Bison. He will keep you surviving from one lethal hit and give you 30% of HP, and you get 30% more damage, but you can't be healed anymore until you die. So you will survive on 30% HP and then die gradually. Makoto, you've seen it. Makoto is here. Why? Because Makoto, unlike her in entirety in the tier list, and this is why I didn't put her in D in tier list, I put her in C. Makoto assist will give you Q or key flow and key spark or something else. So both of them, one gives you defense and 6% of your total defense. So 100 points in defense and 6% of total defense. And the other one gives you a buff in attack, which is like 5% or something, and can stack for 3 times or can stack for 10 times. So they both can stack for 10 times, just like Makoto. They didn't specify it, but because Makoto stacks only 10 times, I would assume it will stack for 10 times. I didn't try it. I want to try it. I think Makoto is a great assist for damage and defense. You can run her on tanks, you can run her on carries. She works. I will try her in the Thunder Tower and let you know about it. Virgil now, he's not... It's very good. Anything that will give you any kind of protection from fatal death is amazing. And I will tell you a secret that we've been using until like 2 weeks ago. Somebody told me it's not working. We had a small group. I told them that I discovered on Lulu's account when I was playing Lulu's account before, that if you put Virgil on Bison, it glitches out. Bison will never die, even if there's Evo Ryu or he takes a hit from Zangief. It will glitch out. Always his assist will work, not for only one time. It will always, because he's taking fatal damage and not taking fatal damage, so it glitches out. So if you put him on top of Bison, he will never die. I don't know, somebody told me that he dies now. It got patched or fixed. If you have any idea, just let me know about it. I still think that it's bugged. If you put Virgil as an assist on Bison, Bison will never ever die. That's what I think. So just let me know in the comments if you have any idea. Now, I'm gonna put Charming Dudley in A. Yeah, he's not an S, he's an A. Now, why Charming Dudley is here? Yeah, Charming Dudley, he's the only unit to prevent healing. It doesn't prevent healing 100%. It will reduce the healing by 20%. But depending on the fight, so what happens is, if your assisted fighter deals damage, the backline unit that you're fighting will gonna get a black mark rose, or the rose that he has. And whoever holds this rose will have 20% of healing removed from them and gained by him, which is, let's say, going out of the way. So he will reduce the healing, that the total healing. If they're getting healed by 100, they're gonna just receive 80, not, and 20%, 20 will be off. So if you can inflict, it's only on backlines. So during the rotation, if somebody becomes the backline and the backline is in the front, he will hit the backline that is just right there. Now you have two black roses on two different units, which will help you mitigate a little bit of damage. Because he's the only one, you can put him in B, but because he's the only one, it really helps you out. Now for Flame, why I put him in A, not in S? I wanted to put him in S, even SS, but the probability of having an attack up only for Flame units, if you're dealing Flame damage, you might have 12% chance to have an attack up. And there's when you're taking damage, Flame damage, not any type of damage, only Flame damage, you have a 12% chance to gain defense up, which is pretty low, still good, okay? Honda, we all know, he reduces 8% of total damage taken by the entire lineup, which is amazing. Gouken gives you the shield at the start of the battle, and the shield stays until it fades away by getting damage or anything happening in the game. The shields give you a damage reduction and gives you buffing for your attack, which is a little bit good. Now, these three units I'll put here, you can go and read them. Both of them as an assist, I put them like this. Elena is better than Athlete Chun-Li, sorry, I forgot her name for a minute, and El Fuerte. She heals consistently and better, then she comes in, then he comes in. Three of them are healers from assist position, but they are good healers, they're not bad, actually it's good. Now, Jury, her assist still works. She, in total, at stacks in the end, you absorb a total amount of 6% of the enemy attack that you're hitting. You absorb it and give it to the assisted fighter, so you gain a buff of 6% of attack, and they get a reduction of 6% attack, which is a little bit good. Now, Oni, I would love to put Oni down here, but the thing is, when he's not for bossing, it's for story and towers. If you hit somebody and Oni is on you, if you killed an enemy, you're gonna get a buff. If you're in your lineup, somebody dies, he gets a buff. You also get the buff. The thing is, if Jury is working well, you can slap him on her and he will buff her, because every time an ally dies from her team, she gets an attack boost always. But because she's still bugged, this doesn't work good. She's still amazing unit, but I think she could be broken. She would be the boss, maybe best damage dealer in the game if they fix her. Let's talk about Diviner Rose. Now, Diviner Rose, I will put her in A. Why? Anything that I said that gives you combo meter will be good. She, at the start of the battle, whenever you get attacked, I think, or attack, it's whenever you get attacked, for 25 seconds, you're gonna just regenerate 5 energy points every time you get attacked, which is good, actually, for 25 seconds. It means every second, maybe if you get attacked by every second on your tank, you're gonna get 5 points, which is good. It will fill your energy combo. Now, Yang, also an A, because if let's say you start a battle and by auto attack your tank get a crit, auto attack crit, which is normal, he will survive that. he will get a shield from Yang and get damage resistance and crit resistance, crit damage resistance, which is good and gives you survivability. Now T-Hawk, I'll put him in B. T-Hawk is good, not insane. He's good because he dispels your. So there's some situations that you can dispel. He can't dispel stun. He can't dispel a charm, and he can't dispel silence unless it's situational. I'll speak about it. He can't dispel freeze. The things that you can dispel are debuffs like bleed, grave injury, sublime bleed, anything, burn, thunder, something like that. But the condition is you need to press a combo. So if you're silenced, you can't press a combo to unsilence yourself. But if you're getting hit while you press your attack and you get silenced within your animation, then he will cleanse you from the silence and you can continue normally. Not that important, maybe situational, still good. Now, Summer Ibuki. Summer Ibuki is the second one to give you crit rate, but she has a very stupid condition, which is I don't like, because most of the carries don't have this, except if you're playing Vega, Akuma, Kami, maybe Chun-Li or Yan and Yang, anybody who's speedy. Whenever she's assisting somebody, if they deal damage to another unit which is slower than them with speed, you will gain 10% crit rate. Flat, better than 15% crit rate of her own crit rate, Chun-Li. You will gain straight up 10% crit rate, which is better, but it has a big condition which you need to be speedy. And the big damage dealers, Guile, Fashion Blanca, Dalsim, these big thick units that sadly they don't have speed. Even Virgil doesn't have that much of speed. Now Guy is also in the B rank. Why is Guy good? Guy is not for bossing as an assist. He's a bossing as a skill if you use his C2. But for a chapter and story mode, if you kill a unit on your lineup, he drops in, hit any unit with the lowest HP, and gives you pressure and crit rate from his own, which is good, buffs your carry. A good point, actually good assist unit. Not that needed because it's situational, but really good. Zangief also, he gives you speed. It's only for 8 seconds at the start of the battle, which is okay, but you need it for maybe rush teams if you start immediately at the start of the battle, but it's not like the best. We can preferably we need to use him on the lineup. It's better than having him on the assist. Plus he just jumps in from the assist position, does a whirlwind, deals a little bit of damage, not that much, but it's still okay. Trendy Kami goes also to the B rank. Situational, if you're dealing thunder damage, she will apply shock with a percentage. Does decent damage, but not the best one, and there's more for her usage as on the lineup, better than her on assist. Also for Guile, better use him as a main damage dealer, not on assist. On assist, if you have a ranged characters like Rose, Chun-Li, Dalsim, anybody who deals ranged attacks, he will buff them with some sabers, and it's really good. The saber shreds defense, but it's also situational, can be used on everybody. Dalsim, the only good why I put him here, he was a C or D, but because his damage, he applies burn carpet or fire carpet underneath the enemies, and it might give them the debuff burn, and burn as a debuff, the second best debuff in the game after thunder, which is really good. It does more than bleed, which is the only good point for it. Plus he has a lot of stats. If you put him on an assist position, he will buff you because he has a high attack value. Now Vega also, because he affect you with the bleed, which is another debuff. If there was no bleed, it will not be that good. Because you apply bleed with a high percentage, it's also he's there, not lower than that. Viper, straight up, the best damage dealer after Kami, because she's AoE and does a little bit less than Kami. Kami now from assist, she drops in, does the armor break, and hits with great damage. The damage is really noticeable. For Viper, it's also noticeable as an AoE damage, not as Kami, but she doesn't deal anything, if she applies burn, I would put her here. But because she doesn't apply anything, she just does her super for the backline unit with a percentage less than what she normally does, very much less than what she normally does, but the damage is recognizable. This is why she's here. Now Blanca is also here. Why Blanca is here? Because he gives your there's two conditions. He makes your assisted fighter deal more counter attacks if you put him on somebody like Nero, he will deal more counter attacks Nero. Plus, if he uses the counter attack of Blanca, he might apply shock, which is the best debuff in the game. Now, DiCapri sometimes comes in clutch because of the execute. If she didn't have execute, she would be in the D rank because her damage is not that crazy. But because the execute functionality, she might kill a unit if they're super low on HP, which I did many times before. And she helped me bypass a E-Honda that I couldn't kill before from her assist position, which was insane. Now, Summer Elena, nobody please use her. If you have her, don't use her on SS position. Even at A rank, she's better used as on a lineup from tag position. If you resist the debuff, or if you were able to cleanse the debuff, then you will be healed by her. Very basic and very not needed. Also, he dispels from his SS position. Not that much, not big difference. You better use him on your main lineup with his C2. He dispels even better. Mummy Dalsim, if a unit dies on your lineup, or the assisted fighter dies on your lineup, then poison will be applied on the enemy, and that's it. Charming Dudley, or Dudley, normal Dudley. He increases your dodge, and that's it from the assist. If you're on assist, this is the biggest thing about him. He will give you a little bit of dodge and buffs your defense and their attack a little bit, which is good. DJ, whenever you fall below 50%, you're gonna get a shield of 100% of his attack, which is not that big, but it helps surviving, and we will give you some resistance also. Now, Akuma, I would say Akuma is the worst assist position damage dealer. From his assist position, if you do any kind of combo, he will drop a fireball. This fireball will hit AoE. Normal damage, but it's almost not there. Like, the damage that he deals is almost like a 1000 hit, while you're hitting millions. It deals like 1 to 5000. I don't know the number or calculation, depending on the buffs that you have and the debuffs, but he doesn't deal that much of damage, and he doesn't apply anything. If he applies burn, he would be there, up here with somebody else, like Dalsim or anybody else. Viper, because her damage is better than his damage, she's up there. Probably I would put her here also, not up there with everybody else, because it doesn't apply anything. It's just straight up damage. Him also, you can put him here, you can put him here. Also, just he does damage, and it's really not recognizable. Now Dante, also very situational, very useless by my eyes. If I look at it and tell you, whenever the fighter that you're assisted dies, the enemy who killed it gets stunned for 5 seconds, which is very niche and very not useful. Hugo, give you potatoes to your assisted fighter. The potatoes will increase the healing amount that you get and not heal you. But when it gets to 5 stacks, the 5 stacks get removed and you get healed by a certain amount of his maximum HP, which is good, not that bad. If you have a healer on your lineup, you might use him. I'm not saying it's bad because it's in D, but it's of course better than these two. But there's a lot of healers that we can use. We said this on their assist position will heal you if you needed a healer on the not on the lineup but on an assist position. Now for the worst unit in the game, Adon, his assist is bullshit, just like the character. I hope I got some comments and some people asking me if he was bugged. I hope he is bugged, because if you read him on paper, he's the most busted unit in the game. And when you come to practice, he's the most useless unit in the game. You need to die on your lineup, anybody to die on your lineup, to apply Hatred Mark on the boss, so you can deal 12% of his damage or 18% of his damage. And his damage is not that good, and the 18% that you get will not ever help you. And yeah, that was it for this tier list. Let me know about your opinions about this tier list, and tell me if you know something else that synergizes and you're using it and it's so much OP, other than Jury assist Nero or Makoto assist Nero or something else, or Blanca assist Nero. Any lineups? I just told you, I spilled for you that what we were cheesing and we never told anybody, and I'm sorry I didn't tell you about it. I forgot to make a video about it. It's Bison. When you slap Virgil as an assist on him, Bison is immortal until the end of the game, until everybody dies on the lineup. If he's alone, he will die anyway. Yeah, and that's it.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
want to fight.